Broadcast Amsterdam.
All right, mic check, 1 2 1 2. My name is Sani. Welcome to Amsterdam-Connect. I'm sitting here with Kingsway. What's up, man?
Hello, guys. I'm good. How are you guys doing today?
Yeah, we're good. Same old, same new. Actually, a friend told me to say same new, no longer same old.
Why?
Just like new things. Reach for like new, better things. Because if you say same old, then you probably be stuck in same old.
Agree.
So yeah,
Makes
same
sense.
good. Shout out to everyone that's been listening to us. Shout out to all the listeners everywhere on Spotify, Apple Music, Apple for podcasts actually. On Bram Radio app, please don't forget to download the app. Really appreciate you. We're back again for another episode. Thank you for the support so far. And yeah, let's get it going. Kingsway, what's up, man? How you been feeling this past few days?
Yeah, to be honest, I've been feeling better because we've had like really better weather these days, right?
Yeah.
Everyone is outside and I just feel a little bit happier, right?
Summer's coming, yeah. Summer's coming. Nice.
Summer's here.
Shout out to all the Amsterdammers. Anyway, let's get straight to it. We have a guest in with us today.
Yeah.
She's a friend of the show. I met her. It's been some months now, and it's just been one thing after the other, man. And it's really nice, really sweet soul. She's a singer, songwriter, based in Amsterdam. I'm not sure how much you want me to go in.
Well,
I won't go in. I wrote a whole intro.
we can do. I mean, I'm very versatile. I do a lot. Actually, I like to call myself a culture maker because I think that captures everything.
Oh,
That's a nice way to say it. Okay.
Or creative producer because I produce creative stuff.
I feel you.
Yeah.
All right. So you heard that, but also singer-songwriter, like I said, also a mom, an actor. Wait, do you say actor or actress? Does that matter?
Actress. I'm literally like, if you see the word lady, then you see me, I guess.
Yeah, facts. Actress, and all-around superstar. I call her Georgy Goat, but you can call her Georgy Morhea. Welcome to the show, Georgy.
Thank you so much, guys.
How you doing? You look good, by the way.
Thank you. I mean, aesthetically pleasing, as I always say, but like, no, I'm good. I agree with Kingsway. Like the weather makes me feel so happy. Like sun is finally out. Everybody's being friendly again instead of the whole grumpiness that comes with winter and autumn. And I can't wait for summer 2026. Yeah, to start.
Well, wait, seeing as you mentioned summer, let's start from that. Can you remember what summer 25 was like?
Yes, summer 25 was very exciting for me because I finally released my first single, Unboxed.
Okay.
And it's also the summer that I became 30. So it was a summer full of like starting new chapters, starting different journeys. Also a summer of reflection and, like writing down what I wanted to do in my 30s actually. And also looking back at how my years as a 20-something went. Like a lot happened in my 20s, but I was really grateful to turn 30 by the end of August. So yeah, that's basically, it was an unboxing summer, literally.
Yeah. How's it been since the release of the song? How are you feeling?
As an artist, I feel different because before I released my song, I actually already performed it a couple of times to see if people would like it.
Yeah.
So I could also change something in the production if people were like, this could be different. But I was always performing like songs of other artists. So it kind of made me like a tribute artist. And ever since I released my own music, I can call myself a recording and actually releasing artist. And it literally, it literally changed the way I look at myself, but also the path that I want to take. A lot of extras come with releasing, like you have to actually promote it, talk about your song, get on podcast, promote yourself. And before that, like, yes, I was doing some self-promotion, but it was different. It was more to, get a booking, to just have a gig and play that and make money. And now it's actually like I want the world to know me as an artist for also like my own art. So it was a big shift, actually.
Makes sense. I was even gonna ask you because I've seen you perform one time, and
Yeah.
to be honest, it was amazing.
Thank
like,
you.
Singing like people's songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how long have you been doing that? How did you feel like going to sing what people had already done?
Well, actually, I've been singing other people's songs as long as I started doing music because I started at a very young age. I was 5 when I started taking like musical lessons, and I was 7 when I started to sing lead in a band and like have to be the leading lady and always, you have to study the person that wrote the song. You have to study the lyrics, even at such a young age, because you want to deliver. And I think for me, it helped me shape the way that I perform because I actually looked into not just the recording version, but also the live version. Like, what is the band doing? What is the artist doing? And then you try to, take bits and create your own experience from it.
Yeah.
It also made me very full aware, like if you're on stage and you sing a song, it's not just singing, like you have to actually act, have to engage, have to dive into something else to really create a moment for the audience.
Yeah.
So I think singing other people's songs, it really helped me grow as an artist.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like when you eventually release your first song, there will be like a really great connection with it. Nice, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yo, Georgie, it seems like music. Let me ask this. It seems like music has always been part of your life from birth. It feels like I'm one of those ones because I also
Yeah.
like music. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was a grown ass man when I decided I want to make music. Like
Okay.
I was a graduate,
Yeah.
But for someone like you, it feels like you were just born into it. Could you
That's
just talk
true.
us through that?
Literally, my parents met because my dad was a musician.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad was a performing musician. I also wrote and composed and produced some songs back in the 80s, like way back.
Yeah.
And my mom always says, like, as a joke, like, yeah, I was a groupie of your dad's band. And whenever he had to perform, I showed up, and I supported him. And then they started dating and like continue in time. Eventually they had me and my sister. So music is literally a big part of my life. Actually, one of my names, if you would translate it from French to Dutch, it means singing. So I'm literally born with the name.
Which name, Georgie?
No, chanter.
Chanter.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I didn't even know that was chanter.
Yeah, that means singing. So
A born singer.
yeah, I'm literally a born singer.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like if whenever you look into my baby photos, you could see me like, with my dad, his instruments and stuff like that. And my mom, she's not a musician, but she is very into music. She also she listened to a lot, did go to a lot of concerts. So there was also always music around us. And they've noticed I really love to perform as a toddler. So then they were like, you know what, just go to, I took ballet classes when I was 2 years old, something like that. And then I also got into music. Went to musical school, did a choir, the pop band thingy. Also sang in a gospel choir, had private lessons. It's always been there.
Nice, man. How much an influence would you say? Let me put it, man. Sometimes, I feel like I need to explain what I mean with an example. But then when I think of the example, I'm like, now I have to explain this whole thing, and I don't want it to be about me,
Yeah.
But I will try to keep it short. So this is the thing. When I was a child, let me put on this thing. When I was a child, in my house, we grew up. I grew up with my sisters, and then I had my aunties. At that time, they were also living with us because we were going to school in our state, so they just stayed in our house. And so it was 100 girls in the house and just me. 'Cause my dad goes to work, so it's just me and the girls.
Yeah.
But my neighbors, it was 3 boys. Same thing, the dad goes to work, the mom is at home. So the youngest boy is my age, so we're friends, went to the same school and everything. So I used to always be in his house. We used to play together.
Escaping the girls. The girls' home.
Of course.
But something, and I'm saying this because sometimes I feel like maybe I'm just reaching, but this is what I remember. Now the kind of music I make when I'm at home, my sisters are playing, you know, R&B music, Brandy, you know, like in the 90s, early 90s, Brandy, the
Lover girl music,
you know,
Lady
Celine
Gaga.
Dion, yeah,
Poker Face.
you know, Destiny Child, things like that. So
Yeah.
it's not like I cared for it, but it was always playing in the house.
Yeah.
And then when I go to my neighbors, the boys, it's like 50 cents, it's Ludacris, you know, the game.
Yeah.
So now when I make music, I realize one day I'm making this super emotional love song. Next day I'm like talking my shit. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
And it hit me like, damn, maybe these things have just been there like from childhood. So that's why I'm acting right now. Would you say your childhood, you know, your parents, did it shape the kind of music you're making now and you're listening to now, stuff like that?
Yeah, they really did. Cause
Really long question.
no, it's okay. Cause I think for people to understand where you come from, like what your influence is, like you have to explain. Otherwise, it just feels like I don't understand. And for example, like Unbox is this very neo soul. It sounds old school, like it could have been created in the 60s. And that's because I also listen to a lot of old school artists because my parents listened to it.
Yeah.
And I sometimes when I'm sitting with a producer or even musicians and they ask me, what do you like? Then I just start rambling because I like a lot of music because I grew up in a house where we could listen to Dutch music, for example, like Dutch R&B, like Gordon and Replay one day. But like in that same day, we could also listen to Bob Marley, which is reggae and, you know, all these different genres.
Yeah.
And as an artist nowadays, when I write or when I perform, I love to tap in all of these different genres. Yeah, because this is also the way that I'm raised, the way that I have love for music. It could be Tchaikovsky, even like sometimes I have these days where I just want to listen to classical music without any vocals on it.
Yeah.
And next day I can listen to Nirvana because I feel so agitated and I need some music that's really powerful, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it truly did.
Yeah. You know, I actually listened to your song Unbox, and it seemed to be like really emotionally honest in that song. And my question there is, how important is vulnerability to you in your music or in your creation?
It's very important because I think that way I can show like who I am as a person behind the artist. Because I just saw this quote a couple of days by one of my favorite artists where she says, Beyonce, where she says like, when you're an artist, especially when you're famous, people forget to see that you're a human as well.
Yeah.
So for people to still understand that we are human beings, we make mistakes and we, you know, we exist beyond just being in one type of box. I think putting vulnerability in your songs helps people to still remind them like, hey, you know, she may portray herself in a very sexy way, but in the end of the day, she's still human. Or sometimes she's very passionate. She's super mad. Sometimes she's super soft, and it doesn't have to be complicated or like one doesn't shut out the other thing, because in my music, I talk about it. And I also think that being vulnerable kind of like it humbles you, you know? So yeah, I think I just know it's very important for me to have it.
Nice, makes sense. Makes sense.
Do you feel like right now it's alive, like in just in music in general, like that vulnerability? Do you feel like there's still artists like that, or do you even think that works right now, or do you think it's just vibes, like vibes and just what some catchy TikTok dance or something like that?
I think actually, for what I've seen right now, there is actually a group that gets bigger, people who are going back to what they call real music, especially since the whole AI music thing is coming. You know, people are like, you know what?
Yeah.
All these robots are creating all these superficial songs which literally have no soul.
Exactly.
So now people also notice, like, if you want to be an artist that's just beyond the momentum, you have to create something for your listeners to connect to. And if you are not honest and vulnerable, it's hard for people, because we all know, like, when social media had its peak, you know, where everything was perfect on Instagram, after COVID, we were past that. We know that everything is fake. We know that people only show the most perfect highlights, so people are
Facts.
also the listeners, people on social media, like our fans, they crave realness.
Yeah, even me too.
Me too.
Because whenever I see somebody getting canceled, if it's a content creator or whatever, it's always, I cannot relate to that person anymore. I see all these $1 million shopping hauls. Like, why would I follow somebody if I know that I cannot have this for myself?
True.
And I think for like music artists, it's the same. Like if you start, I don't know, for example, in rap, if you start rapping about some hood ass stuff and you live in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, and we all know it's not true. Like we know. It doesn't make any sense anymore.
True. I can also relate with this in terms of like videos and contents I see online. When the whole AI thing started to pump in, especially in video creation, at first it was very exciting. You're like, wow. But these days, when I see it, I'm like,
it's the same. I just scroll
you know
past
what I mean?
it.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of vulnerability is needed. We need to see the real thing these days.
It's crazy. I actually like AI, but I won't get into that. But yeah, the vulnerability. I was listening to at work, it was yesterday or 2 days ago, and this song came on, Beyonce, If I Were a Boy.
Yeah.
I know that song, but for some reason, I think I was just hearing the lyrics like
for the first time.
Like,
Yeah.
And I'm listening to her saying, and you could tell it sounded like there was some pain in there, saying how nonchalant boys can be. And it's like, listen, if I was a boy, I would
turn off my phone, tell everyone it's broken, so they think that I was sleeping alone. I know the lyrics by heart, but
there was also a remix, right? If I Were a Girl.
Yeah.
Was it Neo or a guy did it on Mario?
I think
R. Kelly. R. Kelly. R. Kelly.
But the song is written by Neo. It's written by Neo. Yeah, If I Were a Boy. It's a country song, actually.
He's writing everything, man.
Bro.
Yes, Neo, his pen game, I mean,
it's crazy.
Some things are discussionable, but his pen game and his shows are fire. Like, he's a very good performer and a very good songwriter.
How can someone become that vulnerable? Because like I said, when I was listening to Beyonce's song, I almost cried. Because, the part that got to me is when she was like, I can't remember the lyrics, but she would show how to treat the girl if I was a guy, like she would do better. And I'm like, I almost cried, and I felt like, damn, like, I see why people like her, like, because how do you see, like, if I'm listening to, like, just imagine the average person listening to the song.
Yeah.
Bro, it's so deep. And man, there's some other people just singing, like, Pop the Bottles and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, it touched me, I'm not going to lie. It's part of why I had this question in there. 'Cause I know you like Beyonce a lot also.
Yes, certified Beehive.
Yeah. Shout out to B.
Shout out to B.
Yeah.
But how can someone become that vulnerable though? Like, is this something like I can learn? Because like me, it's hard. It's every now and then I'm in the mood. I can do a song where it's real. It's a real person and something. But for the most part, even when I'm making those songs, as I'm writing it, I find myself drifting to some other things. Like, how do I just stay vulnerable, like, and just say the rawest possible things?
I personally think you have to grow in it. I mean,
Makes sense.
she created If I Were a Boy when she was also a lot younger. If you compare Destiny's Child lyrics to If I Were a Boy, she gained experience over life as a woman, like stuff you have to deal with. And even for myself, because this songwriting journey, like I just started to release songs. It also, I think my songs within 10 years will be more vulnerable than I am now, because now I'm still cautious, like, what will people think? Is this too much? Like you overthink it. And I think at a certain point you have to let it go and also realize, even if you sing the most unhinged, vulnerable, whatever, sometimes like I said, people see the artist different from the human being. So I think it's good, like when you write, you are the human, but when you go into the studio and record it, you're the artist. I don't know if it makes sense what I'm trying to say.
It does make sense. It does.
Like when you write, exactly. Like when you write and you want to stay as vulnerable as possible, you have to be you and really be in touch with whatever you dealt with and then just put it on paper without thinking what would others think of my artistry.
Yeah.
And then the moment you get into the studio and you want to deliver, then you let your artist merge, and then you can actually take the song and perform it the way you want. But I think a lot of times we block our own vulnerability indeed, because we think too much like, how will the audience perceive this? What will somebody say? If I'm being so honest in these lyrics, for example, my second song that I released, I was so scared of releasing because I was like, what will my mom say if she hears this? Because it's a different side of me. And then I remember, like, it's just music,
right?
you know? Even if I didn't experience it, she doesn't know. Like, so yeah, I think it's important to really separate yourself sometimes.
Yeah, I think I have a question within that line. Would you say that sometimes the market decides how vulnerable you can be in the music? Because if you have like a management now and okay, what's trending now? Let's say amapiano, right? And you have this voice, you have a great voice, and if you go on an amapiano beat, you will still sell, right?
Yeah.
And you have a management that wants money, and they be like, Georgy, we need you to hop on this. We know amapiano. I'm not throwing shades, but nothing really goes on in there, right?
Yeah.
It's just like the melody and all of that, and
Some vocals just screaming, hey.
no shades. But hey, now you become successful, right? Because now you're working with the trends, and maybe you become that artist that gets carried away with the fame, and you'll be like, why do I be this person that creates this music? I can just earn fast money. So would you say the market has an influence in that?
Yes, I agree 100%. And I think that's the reason why independent artists that's the same type of group of people who say, like, you know what, I want to create real music, because they are not driven by big labels and money and stuff like that. Because the moment you sign is the moment you owe somebody something, and they can make you do whatever. And then it's just, then you just have to do what they ask you to.
Yeah.
And oftentimes they are, hopping on trends because they want to see that coin. And I think for example, all the artists that I'm really a fan of, is that I can see the difference in how big they became. And it's just, some artists, they wait until they are big enough, have enough money to then cut ties with whoever company, is behind them. And then they start diving into doing what they really want. Same with Beyonce again. Like when she fired her dad as a manager, before that, everything was still, it wasn't as raw as she is now with Cowboy Carter, all these other things. For example, Lemonade, the whole album, it was very raw. Like people were even shocked, like, is this the same Beyonce I listened to in high school? Like, what's going on with her now? Yeah. Same with Michael Jackson. The moment he changed record labels and he had gained a lot of fame, so he had also more power, is when he started to create the sound that he really wanted to. Yeah. So it's always so hard, because being independent, it's tough. It's a lot of work. You are literally every function. You are the A&R, you are the label, you are the producer, the composer, everything. Yeah. It costs a lot of money, and also a lot of time, and time is money as well.
Ooh, yeah.
Signing to a label, it gives you the comfort of, people who invest in you, because the label is actually a big investor.
Yeah.
And at some point you have to pay them back, but they can really help you launch your career. But the price you pay,
it's always too much.
It's always too much, and it's always like, they will look at you and see like, you fit in this type of box, and we want you to be this type of artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, makes sense.
Thank God for the internet.
Yes.
Thank God for the internet, right?
It makes it easier for us indies.
Broadcast Amsterdam.